Hi everybody, welcome back to Microsoft Flight Simulator on the Xbox Series S. And yeah, so we're going to go for a proper little fly today. We're going to be going from Eastleigh Airport down in the south of Hampshire to London City Airport, and I'm going to attempt a landing. We're in the Cessna 152. I've got all the assists on, we've got unlimited fuel. I can't crash really unless I crash into the ground. But I thought this might be quite fun. Now, I haven't installed the UK Point of Interest pack. That's still downloading. But I think I've got the UK Improved Map pack installed. And the way I'm going to navigate to London is to, if I press the right button, get the throttle up, is to follow the M3. So here we go. Off down the runway. There's the Eastleigh Airport at the right hand side. And up we go. Climb to 500 feet, and then we'll do a slow circle back towards the M27. So just at the end of the runway you'll see the motorway. That's the M27 there. Right now that's the M27 there. It looks like the traffic has stopped. And then the M27 it joins up with the M3, which heads towards London. Airspeed's dropped a bit low. Probably aim to stay at about 1,000 feet. I can't get over how absolutely amazing this game looks. And this is the Xbox Series S as well. Okay, so what we'll do now is we'll the river itching, loop back around towards the airport. And then we'll just take a leisurely left turn to follow the motorway. So we've got, there's the motorway. We've got 68 miles to London Airport. As the crow flies, but we're not going to fly as the crow flies. We're going to follow the motorway through the Hampshire countryside. 700 feet now, aren't we? Going about 110 knots. Driven this motorway an awful lot. It'll take up to about 1,000 feet, I think. I haven't figured out how you zoom in yet. Right, we're coming up to 1,000 feet. Now, so the M27 carries on towards the west. This curving up now to the north. This is the M3. So this is going to take us up past Winchester, Basingstoke, up towards London. Full throttle on the little Cessna, doesn't go too fast, but I don't know, for me, I mean, I will have a go with the jumbo jets and the jetliners and the faster aeroplanes. I've attempted to buy the Eurofighter actually earlier on, but they're quite expensive. But I think one of the beauties of Flight Simulator is what's on the ground, you know? It's what you see as you're flying along. It's nice just to fly slow. I mean, look at this detail. So this is Eastleigh. Yeah. Flying over right now. make Spitfires here during the war. About 900 feet. The M3 is one of the main thoroughfares from the south coast into London. It's quite a built-up area. And then to the east, got the rolling Hampshire countryside. Typical Hampshire semi-detached houses. And you've got the countryside. How beautiful is this? This would be amazing in VR. There's a bit of rudder. .65 nautical miles to go. The M3 kind of goes north a bit and then cuts in. We'll be approaching London from the southwest. We're up at about 1,300 feet now. I never knew there were so many rivers. When you stop and think about Flight Simulator, and you think, okay, you know, what can you do? But literally, you have the world at your fingertips. You know, we could fly anywhere we wanted, and you don't have to fly there. You just spin up the globe, and you say, right, I want to start here. So you can start at an airport, so you start on the ground, or you can start anywhere, and you just start in midair. Nice walk down there, doesn't it? So, you know, probably most people start off with flying over their house, their work, route they take to work, fly all that sort of stuff. Fly around the pyramids, fly over New York. Definitely got to do one more fly around somewhere like Shanghai, you know, the Chinese mega cities. Fly across the Australian outback. Greek islands. This could be Basingstoke here. Or actually no, this would be Winchester, I think. There is a map, but I'm not sure how to bring it. .1,100 feet, 120 knots. Really heading out to the countryside now. This looks absolutely amazing. It does. It's funny when you see England from this altitude, you think there's a lot of green, isn't there? There's a lot of green. Kind of. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but we missed the trick after the Second World War. We should have built a lot more houses. A lot more towns. I think the next town we'll come across is Basingstoke. Just over 1100 feet. Church over there. I think we can bring up, if I click that in. Where are you going? Get the plane on the straight and narrow. So we click the left stick in, this brings up where's he going? I don't want you flying over there. Why are you flying over there? So when you bring the menu up, an autopilot takes over just to stop you from crashing into the ground. So flying straight and level. Definitely wants this. Right, so we can bring up now. Now, where are you going? Oh, I guess it's probably heading towards London, isn't it? I don't want to lose the motorway. So if I lose the motorway... Ooh, 700 feet. There's the motorway. Let's get back. Let's get back on it. There is like a little map you can bring up. There's a little bit that comes up with points of interest as well. So that would tell us where we are as well, wouldn't it? Yeah, it keeps on wanting to take me towards London. We'll have to leave that. Just get back up to 1,000 feet. Yeah, if they could get the frame rate up to 60 frames a second, that would be something else. You know, I think this is now going to be my I don't want to play DayZ, I don't want to play Call of Duty, I don't want to play PUBG, I don't want to play Battlefield, I don't want to play a competitive shooter or, you know, DayZ basically. This is the game that I will bring out. I'll fire up and think, okay, where am I going to fly? Oh, let's have a nice relaxing 45 minutes an hour, just flying a little Cessna or maybe something bigger around. I haven't done any of the challenges yet, so in the game, yeah, there's like landing challenges, navigation challenges, all these things to teach you how to fly properly. So as I said, I'm flying with all the assists on, which makes it very, very easy to fly. Basically all I'm controlling is your pitch, roll, throttle speed, I guess flaps, so I do macros around as well. A golf course down there. think it is. My plan is as soon as we hit the M25, which is the big motorway that surrounds London, that's when we'll just head straight to London City Airport. Right, I think this is Basingstoke here. We're at about 1600 feet, about 106 knots. You can zoom in, you see. Do not open window above something knots. Compass. You can interact with the controls, you see. Put the lights on in the cabin. Drifted away from the motorway a little bit. Under 50 nautical miles. Yeah, this must be Basingstoke. Big city. Well, big for UK standards. So we're up about 1700 feet, probably a little bit high actually. I'm going to drop down a bit so we don't lose the detail. Now the M3 now really starts curving towards London now. You'll see we're really on a straight course into London. Turn the lights off. The river. Give me Moxie. Let me know when you're flying along the east coast of England. I'll give you a wave. Yes. You have to tell me your town, and I'll do a video flying over the top of it. We're on the M3 at the moment, heading towards London. My aim is to try and land at London City Airport, or at least crash. Just come past Basingstoke. We're about 1,250 feet. Coming up to 110 knots. Just enjoying the amazingly beautiful British countryside. I kind of know where the Daisy bits are to fly around as well. Actually, what I should be able to do now, yeah, so I should be able to go into the menu now. It won't bugger off towards, what's that one? VFR map. Okay, so that's that weather, custom toolbar, don't know what that is, navlog, right. Fuel, flight assistant, basic controls, camera, ATC, checklist. Objectives. Travel to. Oh, I'll have to look at the instructions. We've wandered away from the M3 a little bit, so let's get back on track. Bridlington, right. .45 nautical miles to go. This is a slow little aircraft. I think it's a single piston aircraft I was reading in the specs. Single piston engine. It says see, this is the sort of plane they should have in DayZ. Rather than helicopters, which would be horrendously complicated to keep running. A little Cessna you could definitely get running. You know, if you found, well, I'm saying that, if you know about cars, you could definitely get a Cessna's engine running. And I think they just use ordinary fuel, don't they, these babies? Yeah, and you could find one of these up at the Northwest Airfield or the Northeast Airfield, or even the little grass strips this thing could take off. This would be, and it doesn't go very fast either, so crash. So yeah, this is a sort of, you can imagine a ratty one of these you'd find in a hangar. What's that down there? There's all these things that you just never see, do you? Okay, dead on 1,000 feet. About 107 knots. 39 miles to go. Alright, so Farnborough is on our right. That looks like a sewage works down there, doesn't it? That's definitely a sewage works. Ooh, smell it from up here. The amazing thing about this for me as well is, it's, yeah, I mean, it's an interesting game, sort of simulation, sandbox to play around in. But the technology that they've done to bring terabytes of data onto a console is just amazing. There's a bit of rudder. Right, yeah, so Farnborough is 2 miles off to my right. It's very relaxing, this, I tell you. It's like playing DayZ, you know, when you're just wandering around. Where would this be? Other points of interest. I think I have turned off quite a lot of the points of interest in the settings there. Maybe this is Basingstoke. I'm getting a little bit nervous as we're getting closer to London, you know. London City Airport is on the Thames, isn't it? So we should just be able to fly straight from the end of the M3 across London. We should pick up all the major landmarks. This just looks like we're flying over Google Earth, doesn't it? But with three-dimensional buildings broken up. Cars, little cars driving down the roads. Amazing. It's like a 1970s car in here. The M3, we do pass through Slough on one side and Staines on the other, and Windsor on our right hand side as well. I think this is an amazing game. Love you watching videos. Love to play this. Very yes, it is. It's very, very therapeutic. I'd imagine when you've turned all the aids off, you know, and you've got the wind buffeting you around, and you're keeping an eye on your fuel, it's a little bit different. But flying it like this, it's just beautiful. And there was a few comments on the videos that I've done already that people who've got the Xbox Series S, like I have, who've clagged it up to 4K TVs, and it upscales, and they say it looks absolutely stunning. I'm just playing it on a 1080p TV, and you know the stream to Twitch, they have to degrade the quality quite a bit, don't they? I mean, you could spend years just flying around the UK. We've got the rest of the world to look for. I mean, the south of England's pretty flat, isn't it? But when we went to Wales or the north, Scotland, a few more hills and mountains to deal with. 28 nautical miles to go. Okay, so the M3 starting to swing around to the right a little bit. At some point we intersect with the M25. I don't know whether this is it here. That could be, this could be the M25 we're going over right now. Yeah, that's got to be the M25. Okay, so that's the M25 we're going over. So we've passed Windsor and Staines and places like that. So what we should do now is start heading straight towards the airport. In fact, we're not that far from Heathrow. Heathrow's off in that direction. Some big reservoirs here. It's funny, I wonder if we're going to start seeing, like, you know, the build-up of the smoke, of, you know, the big smoke of London. Guess it started already, hasn't it? If we're going to get a congestion charge. Got no idea what these towns are below me. Football fields. Very large reservoir there. Huge. This is probably the M3 again now. We're flying over the top because it's kind of snaked back underneath us. There's water treatment plants. I imagine we might well see the Thames soon. In fact, what we should probably do is follow the M3 more, because the M3 will terminate, and that will kind of be off to the left a little bit, and then we can follow the Thames. Yeah, I mean, there's buildings as far as the eye can see now, isn't there? Okay, so is the M3 finished? I think that might be it for the M3. Maybe? Yeah, because that's a roundabout now. Okay, I don't think you get any roundabouts on motorways. Now is that... Lots of rivers, isn't there, running through London? I knew there were so many. Is that Twickenham there, is it? Because I haven't got the points of interest installed. Things like some of the stadiums won't be properly in place. Okay, so this must be the Thames, isn't it, here? This must be the Thames, snaking. So if we follow the Thames now, look how green this is for 20 miles away from the centre of London. Yeah, that must be the Thames. Look at it snaking beautifully through. Well, I say green, it's a golf course, isn't it? So we're at 1,000 feet, 120 knots, 16.34 nautical miles to go. Flying over the Thames, our way towards central London, London City Airport. Cessna light aeroplane. Miles to go. In fact, we're going to take it down a little bit now, because we're going to start to see the build-up of taller buildings in London, hopefully. So if we go to about 500 feet, let's get ready to... I might pull some flaps out to slow us down. Feet. So, I think you would get into lots of trouble if you did this in real life. Might be a couple of Eurofighter Typhoons that would come and say, "Hello, what are you doing?" Right, is that the first bridge we've come across? Take it down a little bit further. So we're flying into central London, down the Thames, at approximately 250 feet. This is insane. Some of these buildings work to do. Remember, a lot of this data is streaming in down the internet, and I don't have the best of internet connections. Nautical miles to go. Building's that down there. Oh, I think there's lots of sticking up as well. Okay, we're really starting to get to central London now. Let's see if we can see some of the famous landmarks. 12 nautical miles to go. Hampton Court to our left. So let's put some flaps out so we can slow down a bit. Look at this. Look at this. This is London. We're flying over London. $800 feet. I don't know how to put in waypoints yet. You know, to do this, you know, things like to fly from point to point. Oh, there's this, there's the House of Commons, Big Ben just to our left, just down there. It's Buzz old Boris. It's Big Ben. West of Westminster. How crazy is this? Oh, there's the London Eye. Quite right. Again, that's probably because I haven't installed the map pack yet. 10 miles to go. Is that St Paul's Cathedral off to our left? It might be. Could be wrong though. There's the London Shard. Or the Shard. Tower Bridge. Oh, we got to drop it down for Tower Bridge. Haven't we? I'm going to try and fly under Tower Bridge because I don't know whether you can do that or not. Tower of London. Tower Bridge. Just under 8 nautical miles to go. Let's put our flaps back up so we get a bit more speed. So about 450 feet. Let's get a little bit of height, give ourselves a little bit of breathing room. Coming up to Canary Wharf. Now I have to say that I've made one landing, one successful landing in Flight Simulator so far, and that was at an airport in New York, outside of New York, and it was a very, 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 very big runway. Now I think the thing about the City of London airport is that it's a very, very, very short runway. This is the docks, is it? So I think what we'll probably do, we'll kind of do like, oh right, we're coming up to the Millennium Dome. Or the O2 Arena. I think they should have knocked it down rather than giving it away to some private firm. What's the money this thing was in? but it's still pretty steep. Okay. 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 Okay, so air traffic controller speaking to me. Well, I've got no idea what these guys are telling me to do. We're going to do a touch and go. We're just going to fly over first to get our bearings. Is there another aeroplane? Definitely London docks here, isn't it? Oh, wait a minute. That's an airfield there. So what airfield am I flying over now? Well, that's a nice big runway there. I could definitely land at that one. Less than 3 nautical miles to go. Reduce airspeed. Wait a minute, have I flown past? I did, yeah, I was meant to fly in there. Don't. Here we go. So take our throttle down. I'm not going to follow. Sorry, I'm just landing. I'm not going to follow what you want me to do. I'm just landing. Here we go. I call the ball. No idea what I'm doing, but I've got full flaps. Reduce my speed, engine speed. I'm running out of fuel and I need to land. Ooh. Ooh. No, not in the water. Take her up again. Oh, okay. Wait. Oh, wait a minute. We haven't crashed. Okay. Just making our way through the water. Obviously not very deep, which is fine. A Cessna was. You're going to get back. Okay. Reduce the engine because we don't want to take off. Just got a taxi nicely. Whew. Okay, so I think we were very, very lucky there. Put our flaps away, can't we, so we don't take off. Oh, what's the brake? What's the brake? What's the brake? X is brake. Pretty sure X is brake. I've got to turn the engine off. No, turn the engine off. Right, let's park next to one of these. In fact, let's park next to this big one. Oh, there's some little planes up here. Let's park next to these little planes. Ooh, 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 no, don't hit it! Fuck here. Look at that. Shut down the engine, use right button. Plus. And we made it. There we go. I want to get out now. Press the button like in DayZ to get out. Well, there we go. It would be really cool if you did a flyover at the north of the Czech Republic in and around probably. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what I could do. But I want to find out how to do waypoints so that I can fly from where Cherno is to Electro, that sort of stuff, and kind of back again. Because I know the areas are a little bit split up, aren't they? The boys in the Xbox channel on the Discord have been flying around Cherno. Right, so there we go. Eastleigh Airport to London City Centre Airport. We made it in one piece. A little bit of a cheesy landing going in the water like we did, but at least we didn't crash. Thank you for coming along with me. If you're watching this on YouTube after the fact, apologies for the poor audio and video, but it's because I stream these to Twitch and then I export them back to YouTube. Microsoft Flight Simulator though, free with Xbox Game Pass. Absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. Anyway, that's enough from me. If you enjoyed the video, hit like. If you want to see more, subscribe. And I will, of course, see you again soon.